The Sportscast, April 7th, 2021. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels. YouTube, Twitter, and Apple Podcasts. The reason why I was about to say Periscope, that Twitter has officially moved to Twitter full time, but the app is still around, like the Periscope one. But I believe it will one day dissolve. So if you are a Periscope fan, you probably use Twitter. So please follow us on Twitter. Hit the notification once our stream gets on, and things like that. And of course, you can listen to us on online radio at thesportscast.net or on our app, The Sportscast, for iOS. The UEFA Champions League quarterfinals, leg 1 has been completed. I say the Champions League begins in this round, in my humble opinion. And joining us all the way from the road of I-95 heading south to Hollywood, Jaime Fernandez. Welcome back to the Sportscast.
Thank you, Santiago. Yeah, Champions is back. And yeah, there's some teams demonstrated that they really won the Champions League.
And, I mean, don't you agree it feels like the tournament starts in this round?
I mean, I would say the leg before, because that's when you really see the teams to start getting prepared. But at the same time, you're right. I mean, in this round is when you start literally seeing like big games, like PSG, Bayern, Liverpool, Real Madrid. I mean, those are Manchester City, Borussia. Those are huge games that everybody's been waiting the entire year to see. This type of, like games and not only game, like a battle between also individual players,
Exactly. The heavy hitters, the big clubs. Of course, you can say there's always that one team that sneaks in the quarterfinal round. But let's begin with the game that just ended. The game of the day, they say Paris, Bayern Munich. PSG defeated Bayern Munich in Germany 3-2. 2 goals by Mbappe, who became the man of the match at the 5th minute, 68th minute, and a goal by Marquinhos. And 2 goals by Bayern, one by Choupo-Moting and Muller at the 60th minute. Jaime, was this a surprise to you? Did you see this coming?
I mean, first thing, it's not a surprise for one aspect. Of course, Bayern Munich, we knew is one of the favorites, but tell me, Santiago, why Bayern Munich is one of the favorites? Because it's the actual champion, and because it has one of the best strikers in the world, which is Lewandowski. But if you take out Lewandowski because he got injured the other day, Bayern is a completely different team. And that happened before with Real Madrid when they lost Cristiano. And, people take time to adapt to a new team without Lewandowski. And imagine, we're not even talking about, okay, Lewandowski is not playing, but at least they have Choupo-Moting. Don't forget that Choupo-Moting was a player that used to play last season with PSG. And because PSG know that they are not going to give him enough minutes, he decided to join Bayern Munich, which probably now he's very happy because he's like, okay, I'm going to play the rest of the season, which is the most important part of the season, because Lewandowski cannot play. But is he as good as Lewandowski, or is he at a top-level striker? We all know the answers, right?
Exactly. We know the answers is right. Mbappe, 2 goals. Jaime, he's only 22 years old. I believe he had a great performance.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's got a great performance also. He demonstrated again. Like a month ago, it was in the Camp Nou, Barcelona. Now he's in a big stadium as a Munich Arena. So he's been demonstrated in big stadiums that he's the best, which that's what he needs to do to claim, that spot in the top players in the world. So, yeah, now we definitely can talk about Mbappe as the new Messi or Cristiano, because he's demonstrating game after game that he's here and he's here to stay.
The brilliance of Mbappe and Navas brought this Paris team to a win. Huge 3 away goals in Munich. Now they go back to Paris. Jaime, would you comfortably say that they're going to the next round?
I will comfortably say that just because the fact that in the second game they are not going to have Lewandowski. So I think Bayern Munich, they don't have enough chances in attack to beat this PSG. But, I mean, Bayern is Bayern, and you can never, like, underestimate a team like Bayern Munich because, of course, the history is right there, and they demonstrated before they can do it. And I don't feel it's a really bad score because, I mean, if Bayern makes 0-2, I know it's tough, but it's not impossible. But, yeah, if I need to bet right now, I would say PSG is in semifinals.
Something that we'll definitely be looking at. PSG is looking good. There might be a new champion this year.
And we need to remember, like, not only Mbappe is doing amazing. Like today, Neymar was back, and he gave 2 assists. So I mean, sometimes people don't count that, but if you have a player like Neymar giving assists, of course it's easier for players like Mbappe to score because Neymar, he put the ball wherever he wants, and that's what he did today.
And Neymar is suspended for 2 matches in League One. Will not affect him in the Champions League, so don't know if that will psychologically affect him or the team, but he will be suspended for 2 more games in League One. And Lille is actually in first place in League One, so it's pretty interesting how that formation is happening. But hey, Pochettino, if he wins the Champions League, he doesn't have to worry about League. Oh,
of course.
Okay.
I mean, they sign a good coach. Everybody knows Pochettino. Well, the amazing job that he did with Tottenham, how they make it in the first time history to the Champions League final for Tottenham. And now, I mean, he accepted the challenge of PSG, and, I mean, he's doing great. I would say fantastic.
The other match
now beating Bayern and scoring goals. I mean, it's not only beating by 0-1. I mean, his team are scoring a lot of goals, which is probably what PSG owner was looking for.
Exactly. A lot of goals in this round, this quarterfinal round. The other match to happen today was Chelsea, the Blues, defeating Porto 2-0. Very predictable. I said 4-1, but everyone was saying 2-1, 2-0. Goals by Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell at the 85th minute. Even though Porto played better, but Chelsea won the match.
Yeah, I mean that was a result I didn't expect it, but that's another result that is, I mean that's over. The Chelsea's in semifinals. That I can guarantee you 100% because now if Porto wants to beat them, they need to score 0-3, which is something ridiculous. It's something basically impossible, and especially since Tuchel took over. I mean, which is also it's funny, right? They kicked him out from PSG, and now look what he's doing with Chelsea. So that demonstrates. People don't say that, but that demonstrates that some coaches they're good in these competitions. Like we know about Mourinho, we know about Simeone, we know Zidane, Guardiola, Tuchel, Pochettino. Like, I mean, believe it or not, they demonstrated that they are good preparing this type of trophies. You know, like a knockout. They are good at this type of tournament.
I agree. Coaches that are just know how to deal with a knockout tournament versus a standard league where they got to stay up in the top 4 or perhaps winning it or maybe staying above ground.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're right. I think, like, for example, Mourinho, you know, very good with these tournaments, knockout especially. Could have a chance to win the League Cup, the Caribou League Cup against Man City, but of course we'll see what happens. Porto was
Yep.
missing goalkeeper Diego Costa and midfielder Sergio Oliveira due to injury, and also Costa had was tested positive for COVID. Do you think those two factors kind of like really change the game
Exactly.
for them, or?
I don't think so. I feel Chelsea's gonna, it's funny because they are gonna play again in the same stadium, which is in Seville, and I totally feel that Chelsea's gonna demonstrate and he's gonna try to scare the rival from Madrid and Liverpool, demonstrate that they really won this Champions League. So I totally feel Chelsea's gonna beat them. Also, I feel Porto has been doing what they were required to do, which is beat at least Juventus. But now that they face another big team, they demonstrate that they are not ready to beat one by one. Maybe you can beat Juventus the way that they beat it, which it was like with they won because the goals away. We talked about this a couple of times, but now against Chelsea, you know, losing by 2-0, they probably say bye-bye to the Champions League today.
Also, redemption after their huge loss against West Brom for the 5-2. Did you see that match?
Yeah, yeah. I saw it. Well, I saw the summary. Like it was a good game, and it was crazy. Nobody was expecting five.
Now that was a Thiago Silva factor.
Yeah, and there was a big fight between Kepa and Rudiger, and apparently, I mean, like Tuchel, like he got very, very disappointed with Rudiger. So we will see what happens.
Quite interesting. Of course, Tuchel just became manager for Chelsea, and this is a good comeback win for Chelsea. Of course, for the Blues. Pulisic did not start in this match, or he did not play either. No, yes, he did play. He did play. He came in the 65th minute, but didn't score a goal. But he did play well. And Mason Mount, I believe, Mount
Yeah.
was the man of the match. I don't think that was announced yet, but I think he eventually will be. Let's look at the game of the week. They say it. I don't think it was. Real Madrid beating Liverpool 3-1. 2 goals by a newcomer. I've never heard of them till last night. Vinicius Jr. Jaime, tell me what were your reactions over this match?
Vini Jr. Vini's back. Well, I gotta say, Real Madrid played really good yesterday, but at the same time, I feel it was a bad game of Liverpool. Liverpool didn't raise the bar yesterday for a big game, and that's what happened. Like these type of games, you need to play at 100%. Not only mentally, like you need to be like intensity. You need to try, shoot everything, and I didn't see Liverpool at all yesterday. However, they scored a great goal because that type of goal, helps you to know that you still have chances. But
At
again,
least
I mean,
score a
it's
away
gonna be
goal,
tough
right?
for Liverpool because Real Madrid plays really, really good games away when they play outside of their home. So I don't think Liverpool has chances personally, but again, you never know. It's true that Real Madrid had a tough game this weekend because they play against Barcelona. So of course Real Madrid is gonna get more tired to that game than Liverpool, and Liverpool at the same time, he can reserve people like Salah, Firmino, or Mane, and he can play with other players because I totally feel they can. With the sub team, they can beat Aston Villa.
Speaking about Firmino, he did not start in this match. Jaime, was that a factor, you think?
I don't think it was a fact. I actually think that Diego Jota, has been more prepared than Firmino, and he's been demonstrating. He's been scoring goals in the last couple of games. He's been very focused, and I think it was a great decision. Actually, one of the chances that Liverpool had, it was because Diego Jota But at the same time, what I think he did wrong is not counting with Thiago since the beginning, because in the moment that he put Thiago, Liverpool start, playing more football, and they have more chances until they score. They really score thanks to fast move, and that was the real Liverpool in the second half, especially at the beginning. But Real Madrid came back really quick with another goal, and that killed the game.
And
So
of course, Diego Alcantara used to play in Barcelona in La Liga a couple of years
yeah,
back, so he's very familiar with Real Madrid. With let's stick with Real Madrid. They did not have their starting defenseman, no Ramos or no Varane. I think Varane had COVID and Ramos had an
yeah,
injury. That was not a factor for Real Madrid.
yeah. We were scared, me as a fan, and I can tell you, a lot of friends that I talked, we were scared, and we didn't even know what Zidane was gonna do with that two big, guys missing in defense. But he did great. I think we were talking about, is he gonna play with five? Is he gonna play with four? He decided to go with four, and I think he, not only because the result, because the way that Real Madrid play, it was a smart decision to play with four only in the back, because they did amazing. I haven't, I haven't seen Real Madrid playing as good as they played yesterday, to be honest. And of course, Kroos, Modric, they are in a really good moment right now. So I feel it's gonna be a great game this weekend against Barcelona, because Madrid and Barcelona, they are playing really good right now.
And speaking about defense, Mendy had a great performance for that defense. I really will have to congratulate on him on that. But due to time, let's talk about Junior. Vinicius Junior, Brazilian. Never heard of him. You've probably heard of him for years. Jaime, is this the next big thing in Madrid right now?
Well, Vini has a lot of potential. That's the only problem is that Real Madrid, since we lost Cristiano, it's been tough to find somebody to replace him. And this guy came when Cristiano left, and of course there was a lot of responsibility on this guy, because they thought it was the new Neymar. And we always try to compare players, and what Real Madrid did good is they were very calm and were very patient with him, because they know the potential is right there. They just need to give time, and of course, games like yesterday shows and proves that we were not wrong when we signed this player 5 years ago for 40 million. But again, it's been a while since Vini had like a really good game with two goals. I don't even know if he scored. I think he was the first time, because I know with Real Madrid Castilla he scored a couple of goals in one game, but I think with the first team of Real Madrid, it's the first time he scored two goals in one game. So, you know, time will prove that Vinicius is good for Real, but there is some doubt right now in the Real Madrid fan, I would say like mine, which is like, is it really worth it to keep Vinicius, or is it better to exchange it for Mbappe?
Wow.
What do you think, Santiago?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I know I've been hearing Mbappe for years joining Real. I mean, I would take Mbappe right now over Vinny. But if you can't, let's see what Vinny does. I'm really curious because I mean, let's see what he does this weekend and the weeks ahead of us. I know you're doubtful, but what I saw, I like what I see in Vinny. But of course, if I had to make a decision right now, it would have to be Mbappe.
Yeah, of course. Everybody will pick Mbappe over Vini. But again, I mean, are you going to spend maybe 100 million and give Vinicius to PSG for Mbappe? I mean, sometimes it's difficult, right, to take those decisions. And, of course, every fan of Real Madrid will like to keep both and have a future guarantee.
Is it true that
But
if Mbappe does not go to Madrid, we can see Ronaldo coming back?
I don't think so. Again, especially games like yesterday demonstrate that Real Madrid thinking in the future, not in the past. So I mean, like if you bring Cristiano right now, where are you gonna put Vinicius? Where are you gonna put Rodrigo, which is a guy that he didn't show up yesterday, but he's as good as Vinicius, I can guarantee you. But he's very young. There are young talents that Real Madrid want to, give a good future. But if you bring Cristiano, you're putting these guys in the bench, and these young kids, they want to play all the games. So of course, like if they start seeing that they don't play, they are gonna move to other European teams, I feel.
Great performance by Modric, of course, and Benzema. Didn't have to carry the team yesterday, but he had a good performance as well. The captain. And Zidane had an interesting interview. I'm not sure if you heard about it. He said that they asked him about Juventus, and he says, "Well, my heart is with Juventus, but that doesn't mean he's going there. If he wins the Champions League, I think he's staying in Madrid."
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing is Zidane, like Guardiola, they start very soon their coaching careers, so they always will have time to coach the national French team, to coach Juventus. Even he say a couple of times that one of his dreams will be coach a French team, like Olympique or Marseille or Girondins Bordeaux. Of course, a team like Bordeaux will never be able to convince Zidane to, because they never played the Champions League. But who knows? I mean, Juventus is also one of those teams that I know Zidane would love to coach them once. But life is life, and I will guarantee you that a coach will never be up for a new challenge if they have something like a secure option as Madrid. I think the only mad guy about that, it will be Mourinho. That I totally remember he left Inter Milan when he was the actual champion of the Champions League, and he went to Real Madrid.
And Zidane used to play for Juventus. All you guys learning about soccer, and played there and Madrid. I believe he started his youth, or his first club he signed with was Juventus back in the 90s. So we'll see what happens. Of course, there's always these rumor speculations. It's too early, right, in the middle of the tournament. The best and last game. No, I'm kidding. Manchester City defeating Borussia Dortmund 2-1. Goals by De Bruyne and Foden last minute. And on Dortmund, Marco Ruiz, Foden scored that last minute goal. And they won it. Jaime, any thoughts on that game?
Well, it was a good game. I watched it yesterday, and yeah, they both, it's kind of like a battle because they both have very young players that they want to, like gain that respect in the entire continent, and they were playing good. I was surprised because, of course, Sancho was out, but very risky. A German coach, he decided to put like a very young guy. I don't recall his name right now, but he played basically as an attacker with Haaland and Royce, and he did good. And he proved that like sometimes you need to give chances to young players.
His name is Ansgar Knopf, right? That guy.
That guy, yeah. I like how he played, and I haven't heard about that guy, but he demonstrated yesterday in a quarterfinal Champions League that he's ready, for the challenge. And of course, I mean, Borussia, they got a really good score because, I mean, I totally feel that Borussia, they can beat Manchester City at home by 1-0. It's not a crazy score to think about it. And that's gonna be actually the best game to watch in the second leg of the quarterfinals.
And Manchester City,
don't miss it out. Don't miss it out.
I will not miss it. Man City had no Raheem Sterling, no Gabriel Jesus, and no Sergio Aguero. Can you believe that?
Yeah, Guardiola he's like that. He's able to convince the entire world and their own players that he can play with no striker and be as good as playing with a striker. I mean, I totally remember because Spain, create that position back in 2000, like 12, if I'm not mistaken. We won the European trophy, the Euro Cup, playing with Cesc. They call it falso nueve,
False
like a
number
false
9.
nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, false
Which is
number 9 because
which is what they played most
there's
of
not
the
really
way.
a number 9. All you want is more possession of the ball in that area, which is next to the main area, and scoring by passing, which is what they did. They scored both of the goals. They were like tiki taka, you can call it.
Tiki Taka Plus,
Tiki taka plus English tiki taka.
which Jaime kind of resents sometimes because he's a Madrid fan. Anyways, any closing words before we head into predictions over these first legs? I enjoyed it personally. I thought it actually delivered the expectation and the entertainment that I wanted to see. There wasn't maybe like the most boring game was Man City and Dortmund, but other than that, it was pretty good first week of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, it was really good, and one thing that surprised me is usually, as you say, this is where you really see the Champions League, these quarterfinals. And what I was surprised is that everybody except Porto scored a goal. That demonstrated, like the people, the players are hungry to really make it to the next round. So they know how the importance of goals away and goals in the house. So I was surprised. I thought we were gonna see more 1-0s or 0-0s in any of the 4 games, and it was surprised. I mean, I think in total it's been like more than 10 goals. So that's really good.
And met his expectations. Let's look into predictions. A big week ahead of us. Let's start with Europa League tomorrow. Roma at Ajax. Who you got, Jaime?
You hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow, Europa League, Roma at Ajax. Who do you think will win that match?
I feel it's gonna be a good game, tough game for both because they are big rivals in Europe, and I think Roma is gonna beat Ajax.
Roma will move on. Will win. This weekend, El Clasico. Yes, you got some more good games this weekend. Barcelona at Real Madrid. Jaime, Madrid has won the past fixtures. Will they do it again this weekend?
They need to. If there is any chance that Real Madrid can win this trophy, this Liga, which has been crazy because remember we had a podcast like 2 months ago, and I told you, man, it's been crazy. Atletico has been killing it, and they even have a difference points of 12, and now they are about to lose everything. If Barcelona wins, they will have the league in their hands because they only need to beat Atletico and they will win the league, which is crazy. I mean, they can lose other games, but it's in their hands if they beat Madrid. However, if Madrid beat Barcelona, which is what is going to happen, I think so, from my heart and my head,
Of course.
Real Madrid will have the league in a silver tray. Let me put it like that.
So this game is very significant, very important.
It's very important, and there is gonna be more than words in that game because it could be the last Clásico for Messi.
I don't think he's leaving.
You don't think he's leaving? But
I think like they're gonna bring someone like Aguero, maybe Haaland or someone else, and I think that'll be enough to convince him to stay.
What if I told you that maybe because Ramos is not gonna play, but maybe Ramos is gonna leave Madrid without playing a last Madrid Barca, a Clásico.
Wow.
sounds like crazy, right? Because I can guarantee you that the Barcelona and Real Madrid, there is gonna be like some some players that are gonna leave at the end of the season for both teams.
You heard it from Jaime. Jaime listens to Spanish radio, so he knows the insights and ends. Okay, I got Madrid winning this weekend because historically they've been winning in Madrid a lot these past couple years. This Saturday, April 11th, Man United at Tottenham.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game. Also, Tottenham need to win that game. Like, if they want chances to make it to the Champions League, because Liverpool also is gonna push for that fourth position. And right now, I mean, it's a beautiful Premier League this year.
Oof.
We've been enjoying so much the different teams that they've been on top of the league, right, Santiago?
Oh my gosh! I mean, Man City's gonna win it anyways, but it's still like seeing West Ham pushing for that top four. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very competitive.
But
You're
remember,
right.
at the beginning of this Premier League, remember that we talked about this. Everton was top in the league with Ancelotti.
Correct.
They were top in the league for, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 6 or 7 games. The first 6 or 7 games, Everton was number one.
They started off with a bang. Yeah.
And then I think Liverpool took over, and then Manchester
In December,
United,
Liverpool was clear.
and then Manchester was on top also for a couple of games. And then, of course, Leicester had chances also. And then, of course, since then, Manchester City took over. But it's been a beautiful Premier League this year.
And then Man United second. I mean, hey, that's saying a lot by what this guy Ole Solskjaer's doing up in Manchester.
Yeah, definitely.
So who you got? Manchester. Oh, this is the Mourinho Cup. They're calling it Manchester United at Tottenham.
Yeah, I think Tottenham is going to beat them.
That sounds good. A 2-1. I think it's a
Also,
2-1.
You need to think about that. Man United had a tough game tomorrow against Granada.
Ooh.
So, of course, they are going to be more tired than Tottenham. So, I feel Tottenham is gonna win that game.
And Tottenham's well rested because they're not playing in Europe this part of the year. Anyways, next week, second legs, Porto at Chelsea. I know we kind of talked about it, but Jaime, will Chelsea close out the deal, or Porto out of the blue will win this series?
Big kudos to Chelsea. They're gonna definitely win that.
And
quarterfinal.
which it'll be at Sevilla. Why is it there? Because of the COVID situation?
Yeah, because the COVID situation, they don't want to put in risk both cities. So basically, they decide to do it in a neutral stadium.
You can't beat
And
Seville.
Sevilla they were smart. They offered themselves, and that's good marketing for the future.
Good neutral ground. Bayern Munich at PSG. Will PSG close it out?
I feel so. It's gonna be a tough battle because again, Bayern they don't want to get out of their competition, but PSG revenge for the last final of Champions League is coming.
Clear in the blue. That will be a huge momentum booster for PSG if they do that. Man City at Dortmund.
Listen carefully. I feel Haaland is gonna demonstrate next Wednesday that he definitely can say a big words in this Champions League. I feel Haaland is gonna defeat Man City.
So you're saying Dortmund will win this series?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I like that. I like that Daredevil-ish dark horse pick. And finally, Real Madrid goes to Anfield with no fans. Liverpool has a away goal. That could be significant in this match. Who you got?
I feel Real Madrid is gonna go through. Maybe Liverpool is gonna win, like maybe 2-1 or something like that. But I totally feel like Liverpool, if they want to make it, they need to score very quick. They need to score quick, and Real Madrid in that case will get nervous and maybe a couple of mistakes. I mean, they have chances. I will not say it's clearly Real Madrid is gonna go through because it's impossible to predict that, especially with big teams. But I feel Real Madrid in defense has been improving a lot. And even that we don't have Ramos and Varane for that game, I think we have a great goalkeeper and a great defense.
So Madrid it is 2-1.
Yeah.
Interesting. We could catch a game together if you want. I don't know if you'd be far or nearby, but I would not mind watch that match together at 3 p.m. on April 14th.
Yeah, we will talk about it.
National Beer Day today in the United States, maybe internationally. Jaime, currently, what is your favorite beer you're drinking?
Currently, I will say Funky Buddha.
Good choice, I heard. I don't drink, but good choice, I hear.
And we have the brewery right here in Fort Lauderdale, so it's good.
Perfect. Wow. What a week. What a day. We got Classico this weekend. We got some more Champions League games next week. We got Manchester United at Tottenham this Sunday, not Saturday, guys. Sorry about that. Looking forward to these matches. Wow. Jaime, what is the best way to reach you online to debate you that Spain works better with the tiki-taka formation?
The best way to reach me is through you. They can text you and email you if they have any questions about predictions or about any soccer. I mean, my podcast is cooking in the oven. Hopefully, we open the oven soon, and we can be in the world.
Yeah.
But we don't have a date yet.
There you have it. Jaime's Twitter, if you guys are interested, Solo Vives Futbol on Twitter, and you can definitely see his tweets there. And you can reach us on Twitter at the Sportscast1 or on our website, thesportscast.net. And we'll be having a show tomorrow. Victor is on the batting cage getting ready for NFL draft preview. A lot going on there, a lot of trades. And see what happens this Friday. I'm having a NFL recap week, a lot going on in the NFL free agency. And, of course, next week we'll have a soccer show next Wednesday. We'll try to determine the plans for that one. And
what's your favorite beer, Santiago?
I don't drink beer and I don't drink alcohol, so I can't tell you. I mean, but if I had to say, I mean, I hear Stella's good. I heard Guinness is good. So I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna recommend you a place, even that you don't drink beer. It's a brewery place in Doral. It's called Tripping Animals.
Wow, what a name!
The owner is a good friend of mine, and he's a big Real Madrid fan.
Oh, perfect.
And it's a good place to chill because they have also outside games, board games. They have
will they show the Champions League games?
Pool tables. Say again?
Will they show soccer games there?
They will show soccer games, yeah. It's
okay.
A good place.
Sounds good to me. Oh, yeah, Jaime, before we leave, tell us about that sport you're playing, pedal, I think it's called. Tell us about it. And I know
Paddle.
that it looks like tennis, but tell us what's that sport all about before we go.
Paddle is a sport that is famous in the world, but it's growing. It's growing. And it's growing a lot and very quick in the U.S. comparable to pickleball because it's of course growing as crazy. But the difference is that paddle you play, you know, in a court that I would say is half of the size of a tennis court. It usually is an indoor, but there is outside courts here in the U.S. And the good thing is you play with walls, but at the same time with net. So get confused with racquetball or squash. It's different. You play with walls, but you play with a net. So you play against two opponents also. So it's kind of like doubles in tennis, and it's very fun. I will invite you one day to try, Santiago.
Let me know. I heard it's not that difficult like tennis. I know tennis you have to run around the whole court, but this one's a little bit more steady in place, static. So
Have you ever played Have you ever played racquetball or squash?
Racquetball, I don't remember. I know that I played tennis, and I have not played the other one, pickleball. I've not played that either.
Good sports. Good sports.
Easy
Definitely,
sport.
they're fun sports.
Anyways, Jaime Fernandez. How you say? Is it Real Madrid or no Real Madrid or is it Real Madrid?
Real Madrid.
There you go. Beautiful, Jaime. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Santiago. Have